There is a terrific new attraction in the little southwest town of Boyup Brook, and it's really worth checking out when you're in the area. Bert's Garage Classic Cars has only been open since 2021, but the private collection of cars, caravans, motorbikes and assorted memorabilia is one of the finest in WA. All the vehicles are licensed and are in full working order, and they gleam like gems in the large display building. As you walk through the front gate, the first vehicle you'll encounter is an old fire engine. This has been beautifully restored, and the ladder on top is original. After inspecting this interesting machine, you walk through into what was once the office of a John Deere dealership. This has been converted into a 1950s American diner named Angie's, after Bert's wife. The atmosphere is fantastic, and the only things missing are some milkshakes and fries. Yes, sadly it isn't a working diner, but it certainly takes you back to a simpler time. Bert and Angie moved from Northam to Boyup Brook to be closer to family during their retirement. Some retirement! Bert has worked tirelessly on getting the buildings cleaned up and made ready to house his collection of truly iconic vehicles. Before moving to Boyup Brook, Bert and Angie ran WA's biggest pistachio farm. They had diversified from sheep and grain and made a great success of growing pistachios with over 2,500 trees. They even got a visit from celebrity chef Adam Liao, who picked up some pistachios for a recipe. So where did Bert's interest in cars start? Well, it did start early in life, after taking an apprenticeship as a butcher, but then deciding to get involved in the car industry. Bert started with Atwood Motors in 1969. Over time, he worked his way up to become the manager of the dealership, but decided to move to Northam in 1977 and open a car dealership there with a partner. After purchasing a small farm, an interest in agriculture also developed, and in 1984, Bert sold out his interest in the dealership to his partner. In 1991, he rejoined his former partner to run a Hyundai dealership. During all this time, Bert was gradually putting together a private collection of cars that continued to grow over the years. When the time came to give up farming, Bert and Angie moved south to Boyup Brook, and of course, their car collection came with them. The old John Deere dealership in Boyup Brook was an ideal place to house the collection, but it needed a lot of work to bring it into the lovely condition you see it in today. Anyone living in a country town will tell you it isn't easy or cheap to get the kind of tradespeople you need to get these sort of jobs done. But eventually, everything was in place, and the Boyup Brook Classic Cars collection, also known as Bert's Garage, opened in October 2021. Now, I can't say that I'm exactly a petrol head, but I certainly love to look at old restored vehicles, and this collection holds some of the most iconic vehicles ever produced. British classics like an E-Type Jag, Morris Minor and a 1946 MG, to American dream machines like a Ford Thunderbird and a huge Cadillac sedan, and older vehicles like a 1928 Ford Model A Roadster, which was one of Bert's early acquisitions. The collection ranges from the 1920s to the 1970s, and each vehicle is impeccably presented. Possibly the vehicle with the greatest significance to Bert and Angie is a Holden HD Premier sedan. Bert's father purchased it new just prior to their wedding. You may even see Bert and Angie out on the road somewhere in WA, driving one of their classic cars. They are members of several automobile clubs and take part in rallies and tours. This is an absolute must-see attraction while you're in Boyup Brook. To view the collection, you can phone Bert and Angie on 0428 181 689. The entry fee is very reasonable, especially considering the cost of maintenance and the upkeep of the museum itself. I hear that just replacing the batteries in the cars is one of the biggest expenses of keeping the collection going. Apart from the cars, there are some fascinating old caravans. One is actually in original condition, as it was carefully looked after all its life by the original owners. Another caravan has been restored, and it's worth asking to see the before and after photographs. There are also some motorbikes and a collection of old radios to have a look at. Bert has an encyclopedic knowledge of cars, and if you want to know more about any specific car in his collection, all you have to do is ask.